So, I had a very powerful dream last night, and in this dream, I was uh, in what I guess would say sort of a position of power, and I could do anything that I wanted or take anything that I wanted from someone, in whether it be a physical thing or even their life, and uh, I kept doing all these things and taking things from people, and as I was doing it, I was aware that there was zero feeling that I had while I was doing it. It was, yeah, there was just no feeling or no emotion to it whatsoever. And I sat down in the dream and was acutely aware that I wasn't feeling anything at all, and I just surrendered and gave up. And I just waited, and I had hurt all these people in my dreams, and finally someone came back and wanted payback, and they ended up actually shooting me in my dream, and then I snapped out of it once that happened, and after that happened, I saw myself floating out of my body that had been shot, and that is when all of the feeling came in. And what I mean by that is that all of these, horrible and violent actions that I had done in my dream is when I actually started to feel what I had done in the dream time while I was doing it. And it was so deep and so painful, and uh, I was so full of grief. It was just overwhelming, and I woke up with a little bit of tears. So it was a pretty powerful dream, and I always pay attention to my dreams and always try and, because a lot of times in dreams there are certain messages, and uh, journal the dream after and try and sort through what's going on. Now, whether this was actually a dream of an alternate lifetime and stuff that I did, or it was just a representation of people that maybe I've hurt in this lifetime, doesn't matter so much as the actual ultimate feeling that you get from it. And what I was sorting through in my head was that uh, in the moment, if if a person is so acutely aware and intense of their feelings, of other people's feelings and how other people's are feelings, not just thinking that you know what they feel, but actually having the physical sensation uh, of the feeling that the other person is having, would they actually, would one person actually hurt another? So if you, punched a person or smacked a person or kicked them, and when that happened, when if you felt their pain, would you actually continue doing that? Know that every time that you did that to another person, you're doing it to yourself. And this is, I think, is a pretty important question, because in the large scale of things, we are all connected and we are all one. And in reality, what you do to someone else is actually what you do to yourself, and what you do to the environment is what you do to yourself, because you are one and the same, and connected to everyone else and everything. And I just had that line of thinking, and that in society we are brought up as a very thinking society, but not so much as a feeling society. And not that there's anything wrong with thinking as well, it's very important, but in terms of the balance between the two, as kids we're definitely raised to strengthen our intellect more than our emotional selves. And uh, it would probably do, I think, a lot of good uh, worldwide if people were brought up and grown to be more in tune with what they are feeling, but also with what other people are feeling. Because if you can actually feel, let's say somebody shoots someone else, or shoot someone else and kill someone else, would they do that if they had to actually feel the pain that the person was going through that they had killed, and would they do that if they had to feel all the pain and the grief and the hurt that they've caused of everybody related to the person that they killed? And so the answer is quite clearly definitely not. So if you are trying to live with more peace and harmony in your life, one of the things that you can do then is to get in touch with what other people are feeling, and again, not to just think you know what they're feeling, but actually have the feeling that they are feeling. And to do that first, you obviously then have to get very in touch with what your own feelings are and your own emotions. You have to clear out a lot of your own fear, and any negative emotion that a person experiences does come from fear, so you have to start rooting through and cleaning out a lot of the negative emotions. Once you do that, your body then becomes like a tuning fork, and it will become very receptive and sensitive to higher vibrational energies and the energies that other people are giving off. And initially this can be a little overwhelming, especially for people that are very empathic and very sensitive, because it's hard to separate what someone else is feeling from what you're feeling initially. But when you when you get very in tune with how your body acts as a resonating tool for what other people are feeling, you'll have very definite, distinct sensations. And I'll tell you what it's like for me is that because I work with people on a very close level on a daily basis, is that when I really tap into the other person's energy field and their aura and what they're feeling, is I start to get this vibrating sensation. My whole body feels like it's vibrating, but more than that, I actually get these little tiny shakes here and there in my muscles. And when I have that distinct sensation, then I know I'm tapped into the other person, and I know that I can feel what they are feeling, and I don't have to be concerned or afraid that if I get this overwhelming sense of grief or this overwhelming sense of despair or depression or whatever, that it's my own. I'm actually feeling it from someone else, and so I can more appropriately help and deal with that person. So you practice becoming more in tune first with what you are own feeling, cleaning your own negative emotions, and then feeling other people's emotions. Then you start to pay attention to how your own how your own actions affect other people's emotional states. And even though sometimes you might mean well, you might hit a nerve within the person and react a certain way. So when you can actually sense and feel what they're feeling, that you can then not take their reaction personally or be confused. You actually know where they're coming from, and you can have more of an open heart and more compassion in dealing with them. Um, but so that dream brought up quite a bit for me in terms of just sort of a key to living in oneness and unity and harmony with people. And I think there would certainly be a lot less violence in the world if people were brought up to be a lot more in touch with their own feelings, but also other people's feelings. Uh, and I think it's definitely something that can be a benefit, so on an individual level, but also on a national and a sort of a humanity level in terms of our species as a whole. Would we continue to, as a nation, attack other nations if we felt all the pain and suffering that we were causing in that other nation, or even on a planetary scale? Would we continue doing what we're doing to Mother Earth, and destroying her and damaging her as a conscious being to herself, if we could actually feel the pain and the suffering that we were causing to the planet as we are pillaging the planet of its resources? So very good thing that came out of that dream. It was pretty intense dream, but very good message for me, just to always be more in tune and more aware of the sensations of the emotional bodies of other people, and just to practice doing that and getting deeper in and deeper in and seeing how my actions affect other people and being aware of those effects, so I can then reflect and look within myself to see if I've missed something, that I've inadvertently caused harm or increased fear in another person, and how I can then maybe, you know, communicate or negotiate, or be more humble or more considerate, or whatever. So anyway, so I just wanted to share that experience, and hopefully that resonates with some people out there. And that's it. So thanks for watching the video, and take care.